There we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome everybody, and very special occasion celebrating Dharma Day. It's a festival, a very important festival in the Buddhist world. So all around the world today, on the full moon of July, many different Buddhist groups and traditions mark the occasion of remembering the first time that the Buddha Shakyamuni, share his experience of breaking through, understanding the nature of reality. So it's a very joyous occasion, and today we wanted to do something a bit different. Obviously, we are in a very particular set of conditions right now, going through this pandemic. So as you know, the Nottingham Buddist Centre has been closed now for more than 3 months, 3 months and 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah, we have gone through that, a bit difficult and sad process of not being able to see you all here in this building in that period of time. And also, as everything, it has two faces or two sides to it. We have found new ways of communicating the Dharma, and that's precisely what we are celebrating today. The fact that we can communicate the Dharma, the fact that the Dharma was communicated at some point. It was starting to be spread among humanity, among humankind. And I'm very proud, I might say, about our Triratna Buddhist community around the world. Here in Nottingham, we have made a huge effort to do that transition from teaching at the center and then offering different classes online. I must say I'm very grateful to Gareth, who has been quite instrumental in the process of enabling us technologically to do this. And he's very engaged, very inspired, and inspiring in the process. So thank you, Gareth. And like that, others participating, generating content. We had a wonderful Dharma talk from Karuna Vacha last Wednesday on Sangha night, and many other people, that are contributing to different spaces that we are still offering online. So that's a very important part of our values, our those things are precious to us and are at the core, at the heart of what we do here at the Nottingham Buddhist Centre. But it's not exclusive to us. So today we're going to be joining the Padmaloka community, Padmaloka Retreat Centre in Norfolk. And they are offering a full program. Some of you have already participated in some of those events. This morning there was a sit at 7. And then after this session that we're having as Nottingham Sangha, there will be in the Padmaloka YouTube channel, there will be a talk available. It's going to be streamed live from Padmaloka, from Padmavaja. And then there will be a question and answers session with him. I'll mention a bit more about the program in a moment. Yeah, but I just wanted to remind you of this richness that we have in our community, and especially in terms of what represents this moment. It's in the history of humanity, this is a very important moment. Yeah. So there was a moment, in a way it's a milestone. Yeah. There was a moment before this day, 2.5 millennia ago, where the Dharma wasn't there in the world. There was just an enlightened being. There was just one Buddha. And this being, this enlightened consciousness, this Buddha, wandered in the north of India and found 5 more people. And he engaged in the process of trying to make them see from his perspective, from his understanding, what has happened to his consciousness, his mind. And at the end of that process, there were 6 enlightened beings in the world. So that's a very important moment. A moment where there weren't any teachings, any path towards enlightenment. And then after this day or this night, we don't know how many hours took for Gautama Buddha, to engage in the process of communication, maybe a few days even. But after that point in history, there was Dharma, there was a path in the world, and other beings started to participate of that vision reality. So it's quite remarkable. It's not something that we should forget, especially as a group of practitioners that are trying, we are trying to achieve a level of development, of awakening in our own lives. And I was thinking this morning about, how special is that? You can think in terms of, how rare are spiritual communities? How rare are these centers? The Nottingham Buddhist Centre has been going on for 24 years now. And it's been a very rich process, of growth and development. It has touched the life of many people in Nottingham and beyond Nottingham, like in my case, I'm from Venezuela. But there was a point, before 24 years ago, where there was not a Nottingham Buddhist Centre, where maybe there were people interested in growing and developing, but they didn't have these conditions, didn't have the support of this community. And something that we've been facing with this coronavirus crisis, is a very strong situation of considering, is there going to be a future for the Nottingham Buddhist Centre? If we look at the history, of Buddhism, at the history of humanity in general, both things emerge, they get established, they flourish, they have a climax, and then decline and disappear. So we might not be exempt of that process. I don't know how long it's going to take, for that. But it would be a shame, if we couldn't carry on because of the current situation. There are many places, as you probably know, if you've been following the news, that have been threatened. Their survival have been threatened. Places, like the Globe Theatre in London. Places are quite iconic, and sometimes we think that they're going to last forever. Yeah? But there's been some cries for help, some real, appeals to keep those places going. And I think for us, it's not just about sustaining the structure of this place. It's not just about this building, but it's this, the blood of our community is coming together and practicing together. People like Gareth and Karuna Bacha taking active part in our community, offering, their skills, their time, their energy, beyond what is asked from them, and they do it gladly. They do it out of the joy of sharing the Dharma. So we don't know yet when we are going to be able to open the Nottingham Buddhist Centre. We are going to be hosting in this place, in this shrine, we are going to be hosting some Mitra ceremonies on August the 1st, and we'll be letting you know in a couple of weeks' time more details about that. And that's going to be our first trial, our first experiment, and see how it works. But it's unlikely, I must be honest with you, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to open fully as we were before anytime soon. Yeah, there is a lot of guidelines and procedures and precautions that we need to take into account. So we've been projecting in this process, of not being able to work, to operate normally, that the Nottingham Buddhist Centre was going to lose some money. Yeah. and we had many different conversations about how to survive. And we projected that it would be a loss of £1,500 a month. And we were considering the different measures we need to take into account for that, to face that, how many months we can keep running with savings and the willingness of people chipping in and working. And I might say I'm very grateful that we haven't faced that scenario yet of losing that amount of money every month. Actually, we have been recipients of a lot of generosity from the Nottingham Sangha. So I just want to say that I'm very grateful. Thank you to all of you who have contributed financially to sustain the center during this very difficult period. But also, I want to make an appeal, to keep doing that. It's important that we don't take it for granted. I think this period, nobody knows really how long this period is going to last. We are trying to be very creative and to be able to offer more and more. So please, if you can today visit our website and donate whatever you can, that would be very much appreciated. Also, if you cannot do that today, you cannot donate today, keep that in mind and spread the word. I know that you probably are in connection with other people in the Sangha. I was talking to somebody yesterday, a very good friend of the Nottingham Buddist Centre, who was telling me that he knows somebody who doesn't want to engage yet with the online content. And I'm aware that there are some people like that in our Sangha that we miss. I would very much like to see people coming to the center and being here in this building. But yeah, spread the word. Let them know that this is happening, that these resources are available, that we have all this content in YouTube that you can access, and yeah, that we are all part of this. This is a common effort to keep the center going. So I'm going to introduce now the Dharma Day a bit more, and then we'll have a reading from Gareth. Gareth is going to do a reading from a book by Vishvapani, Gautama Buddha. It's a very beautifully written book with a lot of scholarship, a lot of interesting information about the life of Buddha. And then we'll do a dedication ceremony, followed from some very beautiful verses, something that we usually call the morning puja, very timely, very appropriate for this session today, also called the 4 reminders. And then after that, Richard, here in the shrine room with us, is going to lead us into the Shakyamuni mantra. And then we'll sit for a while. But as part of this, I just wanted to say something in relation to Dharma. It's very brief, because Dharma can take many different shapes and forms. Yeah? So you probably respond to some teachings more than others. In this symbol that I have both in my kesa and my t-shirt today, we have three sort of drops or tears of different colors that represent the 3 jewels. And it might be that you respond more strongly to one of the jewels to the other. The blue jewel is the one that we are celebrating today, the Dharma jewel. So there's a variety of ways that we can discover that perspective that Gautama gained in the night of enlightenment and made him become a Buddha in the world. So what I want to suggest is that we go into groups in a moment, very briefly for a few minutes, maybe groups of 3 or 4 people. And what we're going to do is I would like us, if you feel that you can respond to this, to set up an intention for the day. So there is a program that we email to you that is facilitated by the Padmaloka Buddhist community, Buddhist Retreat Center. So I'm going over that program just to remind you of what is in offer. So at 10:30 we have a talk from Padmavajra, listen, the deathless has been attained. And then that will be followed by a Q&A until around 12:30. Then at 4 p.m., there will be a sutra recitation and meditation. That's going to be for an hour. And then at 8:15 this evening, there will be a sevenfold puja led by the Padmaloka community. There are other events as well online. So I myself, for example, this morning I was in tune with the bodhicitta practice that has been done, during this period by some of the members around the world. So that connection with everybody around the world is something that you are going to experience through connecting with Padmaloka in some way or another. And also, I this evening, I think I'll be participating of the Mitra ceremonies that are going to be broadcast by the London Buddhist Centre at 7:30 p.m. And there is a reason for that. I love Padmaloka. Padmaloka is very dear to me, but something about people committing to the path is very in the spirit of Dharma Day. Yeah. So people coming at the front and saying that they are Buddhists, and they are Buddhists in the context of Triratna. It's very significant. It's very in tune with that moment in time where the Buddha was communicating the Dharma to the 5 ascetics, and then they became enlightened. So for me, it's part of a myth of Dharma Day. But yeah, you might have ideas of what you want to do during the day. And I would like that to be shared, to be in the consciousness of everybody today in our local Sangha. So maybe just setting an intention of what is that you want to do today in this very special occasion in relation to the Dharma and your own practice. So that's going to be very brief, and then we come back, do the rituals that I mentioned, and then we'll just conclude with a short period of meditation. Okay.